What is going on, YouTube? Espresso Shucko here, and today, I don't know if I created something ridiculous or abhorrently heinous, but we are hitting the Reg G ranked ladder with this Zacian-Crowned teamed with Riolu. That's right, we are bringing Riolu back as well. The last time I used Riolu in Reg F with Dragonite, it was a wonderful time, and speaking of which, Dragonite is back as well, so I'm hoping to benefit Zacian, Dragonite, or Ogerpon with coaching, and we're just going to go from there. So let's start off with our restricted legendary. We have Zacian-Crowned here with Terra Grass, so we don't have to worry about the likes of Spore or Rage Powder. Now, we do still have to worry about Follow Me, but that's a lot better than the alternative of having to deal with all three of those. A couple weeks ago, I brought Amoonguss to a Zacian fight. And to add insult to injury, not only did I not call the Terra Grass on the Zacian, I also tried to Spore them and went Terra Fairy at the same time because I thought something different was coming my way, and I just lost my Amoonguss instead. So, shoes on the other foot, we're going to run Terra Grass Zacian right here. We have Iron Head, which is going to become Behemoth Blade when Zacian transforms. We have Psychic Fangs to help deal with the Poison-type matchup, and we have Sacred Sword to bypass defensive boosts that my opponents might want to go with. And the nice thing here, too, is Sacred Sword will do a lot of damage to Incineroar or Chen Pao, especially if we get to dodge the Intimidate off of Incineroar. If we get to keep that +1 attack from our Intrepid Sword, we're going to be doing a lot of bit of damage. And on the off chance that I regret not having Play Rough, well, at least the logic there is Psychic Fangs will help with poison types, and if I had Play Rough, both Play Rough and Sacred Sword would have been resisted by poison types, and Behemoth Blade does not have that much PP, so at least we have a means of hitting most poison types for some super effective damage. As far as Riolu goes, we have the upper hand to activate Dragonite's weakness policy, so there is that, and we could shut down opposing priority moves. We have Feint to get around Protect, unless you're a Ghost type, and because Feint also does a little bit of damage, we could potentially break a Focus Sash, so a +2 extreme speed Dragonite could do some major damage to something, especially if they think they're protecting and I just remove it. So there is that. And as I mentioned, we have the coaching to benefit Zacian, Dragonite, and Ogerpon. Speaking of Dragonite, we do have that extreme speed and the weakness policy. We pop the Terra Normal, we go extreme speed and side upper hand into ourselves. And once we do that, we do a little bit of damage to Dragonite. We activate that weakness policy. Inner Focus, make sure that we don't flinch. I got so excited there, I forgot the grammar. But anyways, Inner Focus makes it so that we don't flinch from the upper hand, and then the extreme speed still goes through and hits whatever target I go for, so long as they don't go Terra Ghost. That's going to be fun. We have Ice Spinner here to destroy terrain, whether it be Grassy, Electric, or Psychic. Psychic terrain is going to be really annoying for extreme speed, but we can destroy it with the Ice Spinner. Now, we will have to watch out for Farigiraf or like Zarina with abilities that can just negate priority, but if we do run into those, we can still go for the +1 off the coaching into Dragonite and go for a boosted Dragon Claw or Ice Spinner to try to clean up that way. So we do have that, and because we're running a weakness policy, that does mean we are able to run Protect on Dragonite, so that could be good for saving our bacon down the road too, so we do have that. Ogerpon here, we got my favorite set of Water-type Ivy Cudgel, Horn Leech for a little bit of sustainability and general damage to deal with grass weak Pokemon. We have Follow Me for a little bit of redirection support, and we have Spiky Shield to keep ourselves around. I might experiment with either a Heartflame or Cornerstone form between now and the end of August and try something new, but I can't make any guarantees depending on if I run out of time to film or not. So we might try a Cornerstone with maybe, say, something that isn't Follow Me, or a Heartflame for that matter. We might try Swords Dance, Heartflame, Ogerpon with maybe Grassy Glide at some point. I don't know, can't make any promises, but I might try to do that. Now let's talk about the next thing that I am most excited about on this team, and that is the Light Bulb. We got Regieleki here with Terra Ice, and that way it's extremely niche, but if we run into a ground type, we can pop the Terra Ice and go for Terra Blast and just try to get some super effective damage. Now, because it's not coming off a Transistor, it's not going to do the most amount of damage, so we're going to have to be very careful. But what we do have is we have Electroweb and Thunder to take advantage of Transistor. Electroweb will slow things down, and that way that should help Zacian and Dragonite in the long run, even Ogerpon for that matter. And if we get Torn and Regieleki on the field, I can go for Rain Dance on Torn and drop a Thunder on something, so that could be fun. Now, there's no guarantee that this doesn't change back to Terra Electric and I drop Terra Blast for Volt Switch or something, or Thunder for a Thunderbolt, but we're going to try it. We're going to try it and see how it makes out. And then finally, we have Tornadus here. As I mentioned, we have Rain Dance. As per every Torn in the book, we do have Tailwind, and we have Bleak Wind Storm. And we do have Protect to keep ourselves around. We have Terra Dark in case I'm worried about Prankster Taunt or Prankster Encore. I can just pop the Terra Dark and just let Torn do whatever it wants to do. But anyways, that is the team in a nutshell. Or in 5 minutes, I guess. Let's jump right on in to the battles. Alright, we've got an Eternatus team here with Iron Valiant, Rhydon, Rillaboom, Archaludon, and Grimmsnarl. Now, Zacian looks really nice here since the Steel typing will make us immune to poison type attacks. We have Behemoth Blade for super effective damage into the Iron Valiant, the Rhydon. Rillaboom can't do much to us. Archaludon's not going to appreciate a Sacred Sword. Overall, it looks great. Now, Grimmsnarl with Fake Out could be really nasty, but I think we bring Dragonite and Riolu right out of the gate. I think we bring Zacian in the back, and do I bring the Rieleki or do I bring the Torn? I think the Rhydon's probably got a Lightning Rod, so I think maybe we bring Ogerpon or a Torn. I think we bring Ogerpon. Honestly, Ogerpon and Riolu could be nice too. Nah, we'll go Ogerpon and we'll go Ogerpon or not Ogerpon. We'll go Dragonite Riolu in the lead. I do have the extreme speed upper hand potential. I have coaching. They might think I'm focus sashed on the Riolu. So that's the nice thing about Riolu and Regieleki being on this team is only one of them can hold a focus sash, so they might think it's Riolu. They might try to double into me. So it's like having pseudo redirection in that case. So yeah, we'll see how this goes. If it wasn't for Lightning Rod, I definitely think Regieleki could have come out here. Now, I think Terra Normal, Extreme Speed into the Iron Valiant can be nice. That's booster energy. Which means they could do something nasty like Destiny Bond. I have run into Destiny Bond, Iron Valiant. It's unpleasant. I'm going to go for the Extreme Speed. And I'm going to go for the weakness policy right here. I want to get that Iron Valiant off the field. If I lose Dragonite instead of Riolu, that's great. I have two other Pokemon that benefit from Riolu. If I lose Riolu, well, I have a +2 Dragonite. I don't think that's going to be the worst case scenario. Now, if I lose both of these Pokemon, that could be terrible. But I don't think I'm going to. God, Dragonite just really did not appreciate that. Like, Dragonite just recoiled, like, right back, and, you know, I don't blame it. He essentially just got facepalmed by another Pokemon, but anyways, we're getting our Stream Speed off. We're gonna just nail this Iron Valiant, so that's gone. If that was Destiny Bond, you're gone. If it's close combat, you're gone. Here comes a Meteor Beam. This is gonna hurt, but you know what? Zacian can come in and benefit from coaching. I gotta get the Eternatus off the field, and you know what? I have Psychic Fangs. My opponent's probably not going to expect to see Psychic Fangs. I lose Dragonite, but you know what? That's not the worst case scenario here. I can coaching Zacian. I can go for Psychic Fangs. So long as Eternatus doesn't Terastallize, that's going to be great. Ogerpon does not like Eternatus by any means. So Grimmsnarl's going to come in here. Now, I can do one of two things. I can just protect Zacian. Coaching will still go through. I could do that. Or, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to coaching. I think I'm going to protect because I'm a little bit weary of a Fake Out into Zacian. Like, I don't think you Fake Out Riolu in this situation. They might attack Riolu, but if they do, that's fine. Because I can always get redirection support in from Ogerpon. They're going to Terastallize too, so depending on what they turn into, that's going to be great. It's going to be Terra Water, which that's going to throw off my Psychic Fangs plan. But Hornleech is going to do a lot of damage to them now, so that's really nice. Yeah, okay. So I'm at a +1 attack boost into Zacian. I feel like you go for the Zacian here, too. So they might... Yeah, they're going to reflect, but you know what? That's fine. I can still... You know what? I'm still going to Psychic Fangs. Because I'm going to bypass the... I'm going to bypass the reflect. Now, Pranks with Thunder Wave just ruins Zacian's day here, but we're going to go for +2. We're going to get a little greedy. We're going to Psychic Fangs the Eternatus. A +2 Psychic Fangs is going to do a lot of damage, and breaking their screen means that's going to put Grimmsnarl into a little bit of an awkward position, so we'll get our +2. So long as they don't Prankster Thunder Wave me, I'm in an okay position. They might have just went for Spirit Break. No, they went Light Screen. Okay, okay, that's great. I'm just gonna waste 2 turns in a row. That's why they went for the Light Screen too, for the Grimmsnarl to survive. But here's the beautiful thing about this: we just do that, and that's more than half their HP. Ogerpon comes in here. Ogerpon can Spiky Shield. Or follow me. They were faster with Eternatus too, so I think I Spiky Shield, and I think I just Psychic Fangs. Okay, they're going for Protect here. That's fine. No Flamethrower coming out. Ogerpon's getting the Spiky Shield off. If they want Spirit Break into Ogerpon, great. No, they're just going for Reflect again. Oh, okay, okay. That's great. Alright, you know what? I follow me with Ogerpon regardless if Sludge Wave comes out, because if Thunder Wave comes out, then I dodge that. And then Grimmsnarl just eats a Behemoth Blade at some point. Or if they Sludge Wave, they just go straight down to their own Sludge Wave. There's a Flamethrower into Ogerpon. That's great. We're going to destroy this. And Grimmsnarl is going to attack Ogerpon here. So whatever comes in here is not going to appreciate a... Oh, you know what? We're at +3. I just realized that. I said +2 because of the coaching, but you know what? That's fine. Ogerpon gets to hang in there too. That's great. All right. Their restricted is gone. So, ooh, it's Rillaboom. Ooh, you get Fake Out. That's not good. But you can't really do that much to Zacian. Okay. I'm gonna Behemoth Blade the Grimmsnarl. Oh, and they forfeit the match. Okay, you know what? That's great. The biggest thing that could have caused some problems was maybe if they had high horsepower on Rillaboom and Thunderwave on Grimm, because we only saw 3 other moves off Grimmsnarl to my knowledge. Now, they might have had Fake Out as their 4th move. If they did, then I would have been safe, because I would have just removed Grimm and then eventually just Psychic Fangs them. So that worked out really nice for Zacian. I'm really glad we also got to showcase the Psychic Fangs right there. So, yeah, that worked out really nice. And also, good game to my opponent. All right, it looks like we got a Reg F team here with Tyranitar, which honestly, I really like to see the Tyranitar. We got Incineroar, Fluttermane, Komao, Sinisha, and Iron Bundle. So, Zacian looks really nice here because we got the Psychic Fangs for the Komao, we got the Behemoth Blade for the Fluttermane, we got the Sacred Sword for Tyranitar in Incin. That is wonderful. I think we can bring Riolu Dragonite as our lead. Honestly, I really like the look of Regieleki here. Regieleki having speed control could be nice. And I think we bring Zacian. I don't think we need the Ogerpon. The reason why I'm not leading Regieleki here too is because of the Sandstream off of Tyranitar. Because even if they say go Incin Tyranitar and I protect to dodge the Fake Out, Sand will break my Focus Sash, which is not good. And honestly, as far as Sand goes, like, I don't see it helping them out the greatest. Like, Fluttermane, if they have a Focus Sash, or Iron Mundle for that matter, they have a Focus Sash, well, their Focus Sash will break from sand. If they have safety goggles, that will be fine, but they don't have the Focus Sash, and that means they also don't have a booster energy. So, Incin, Kommo-o right here. Love the double shiny. I love both of these Pokemon in shiny for that matter. Yeah, I actually went shiny hunted both of those Pokemon. I have a shiny Kommo-o too. You guys have seen my shiny Incineroar if you've watched my videos. But anyways, not the point. The point is we have a Incineroar and a Kommo-o on the field at the same time. I think I upper hand into Dragonite. I think I popped the Terra normal. And I think we go for the Kommo-o. Because I don't want them to set up. That's the big thing right here. I don't want them to set up with Clangorous Soul and get a speed boost. Because that could be a little bit sketchy for Zacian and Regieleki in the back. So I think we're going to pop the Terra Normal on Dragonite. And the other thing, too, is Steel Fairy is a better defensive typing for me to deal with the Kommo-o than Terra Grass. And honestly, Terra Grass is doing me nothing for the Incineroar. So Terra Steel, okay. They are going to resist this, unfortunately. But at least if I keep Dragonite, I can go for the Incin next turn instead. So we'll get our weakness policy off. We'll get some damage. And you know what? If they do go for Clangorous Soul, at least they do lose a third of their HP. So there is that. Incin tries to fake out my Covert Cloak, Riolu. That's great. Kommo is going to take some damage. It's not as much as I would have liked, but you know what? That's fine. They're Iron defense, so Body Press is going to hurt, but I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to rely on the fact that Zacian has the Sacred Sword for Kommo-o, and I'm just going to target the Incin instead. So I'm going to go to Coaching into Dragonite, and I'm going to Extreme Speed the Incineroar. Now that I know it's a Body Press Iron defense, I definitely want to get that Sacred Sword off into Kommo-o. And honestly, if oh, Incineroar is going to withdraw, that's great. Okay. So, Sinistcha is coming out, not great. Kommo is going to get some HP back, but you know what? That's fine. I can bring in... Ooh, they protected. Great, so that's not a waste of a turn for me. I think what I could do, I can coach in Dragonite, and a +4 Dragon Claw should just destroy things at this point. So we're going to Coaching, and as far as their team goes, they do with the Fluttermane. So Fluttermane could switch into a Dragon Claw safely. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go for the... I know Incineroar automatically resists the Ice Spinner, so I think I'm just going to attempt the Dragon Claw. I don't think you switch in Fluttermane here. So Dragonite's now at +2 defense, so so long as Kommo is not faster, which it isn't, we're just going to get rid of Sinistcha right there. Now I am going to take Rocky Helmet Recoil, which is not great, but at least we get to remove that. They get another Iron defense off. I think what's going to happen here is I think either Incin comes in. Yeah. So I think I just protect Riolu just to keep it around to make sure that Zacian can get a +1 off of the Coaching. So I think we protect here, and I think we just Extreme Speed the Incin. Now, if they have Fluttermane, I would love to see it come out. We don't see a switch off of my opponent, which is good. +4 Extreme Speed, Incineroar, you're not going to like this. You are really not going to like this, especially since you just tried to fake out my Inner Focus Dragonite. Goodbye. Now, I need to be able to one-shot Kommo-o at +2 Sacred Sword, which I might be able to do. I might. Sacred Sword will bypass. Will bypass that. Now, the nice thing here, too, is I do have Feint off of Riolu, so I can get around Protect. T-Tar is the last Pokemon here. A Coaching Boost into Zacian will help deal with that as well. Incin is gone, so I don't have to worry about Intimidate. I'm going to Coaching Zacian. And I'm going to Sacred Sword into the Como-O slot. Now, if they protect, that's fine. Tyranitar is going to protect, but that Como-O is a lot scarier than the Tyranitar. So, now, Tyranitar does get Foul Play, I think. Which, that could be bad. That could be really bad. But anyways, we're going to Sacred Sword into the Como-O. Yeah. +2 Sacred Sword just gets rid. It got rid of it. That's nice. Now, I have Regieleki in the back. Regieleki is not helping me with that Tyranitar. So, I'm just going to click Feint into you for the chip damage. And let's do the Behemoth Blade. Yeah, let's do the Behemoth Blade. It's not going to matter. Alright. Regieleki came on to the battle, but it didn't do anything this time. But it got a lot further than the last one, that's for sure. The last one, it didn't even make the 4. But anyways, that worked out really nice. Now, if my opponent hadn't have protected Como-O after they got the +2 body press, that probably would have destroyed Dragonite the turn I Extreme Speeded into Sinistcha. Thankfully, they didn't do that. And thankfully, I was also faster than Como-O, so that worked out in my favor. Otherwise, that could have been really ugly for me. But anyways, good game to my opponent. All right, we've got a Terrapagos team with Tornadus, Therian, Iron Boulder, Incineroar, Grimmsnarl, and Amoonguss. Now, Zacian really likes the look of that Iron Boulder. And you know what? I really like the look of Regieleki. I actually do, unironically. I can always protect the dodge fake outs. I think what we're going to do, I think we're going to leave Dragonite on the bench. I think we're going to go Regieleki and Torn maybe as the lead, potentially. One thing I got to be very careful about is the fact that my Riolu is the one with the Covert Cloak and not my Tornadus, so I can be faked out. But getting some damage into Terrapagos with Electro Web to slow it down could be nice. I don't want to take an Intimidate into Zacian, but if I have Riolu in the back and Regieleki goes down, I can bring in Riolu and Sacred Sword. So I think maybe maybe Zacian Regieleki is the play. I think we bring Riolu for the coaching. And I think Ogerpon is going to benefit as well. If worst case scenario, something happens to Zacian, at least Ogerpon benefits from the coaching, whereas Tornadus wouldn't. Now, I can't drop a Thunder on any of these Pokemon accurately, so it's not great by any means, but we have it there just in case. Electro Web into Tornadus Therian would be wonderful too. Incin and Grimmsnarl come in together. Now, both of these Pokemon can technically fake me out. Yeah. But I think what I can do here is, I think it'd be hilarious if I tried to Thunder the Incin. Not gonna lie, I kind of want to. I'm gonna protect the Zacian here this turn. I think maybe Fake Out or Flare Blitz comes into Zacian, which I'd rather not take. I'll try to keep Zacian healthy here. And depending on how much damage I do, if Thunder connects, I can just finish it with a Sacred Sword. Yeah. Oh, you went Light Screen instead. Okay. Okay. That's fine with me. I mean, Regieleki is going to do some damage to you. It's not doing a lot of damage, but we'll go for the Electro Web, and we'll just Sacred Sword into the Incin. If we get Incin off the field, great. Now, with the amount of damage I did, that could be okay. We connect both Electro Webs too, so that's half. That's that's gonna put me in them into berry range. Oh, no berry. Okay. Oh, you are a bulky kitty. Okay. And there's a Will-O-Wisp. Okay. New plan. Ogerpon. Ogerpon is our new plan. Yeah. Zacian just got ruined. But Electroweb, Sacred Sword is going to be okay. Honestly, Electroweb, Behemoth Blade is okay at this range. So, who did I miss? Grimmsnarl. Okay. That's enough to knock out the Incin, so this is not going to make me look dumb. Okay, we'll get our Behemoth Blade off. Zacian is a bit of a sitting duck for Terapagos now, though. That's the only thing. I don't care about the Spirit Break, to be honest. The fact that it was only able to do half of Regieleki's HP is okay. If Terapagos comes in here, I think... Ooh, it's Amoonguss. You know what? I'm going to Psychic Fangs into the Amoonguss slot. It's not going to pick it up, but I can at least do that. I don't know if I need the Terra Water for... Yeah... Honestly, I think I'm just going to get this Amoonguss off the field. We're going to pop the Terra Ice. Regieleki, who, you know what? No. We're going to protect Regieleki this one turn. I'm going to Psychic Fangs into the Amoonguss. Just to call out the Spore. Because I don't want Regieleki taking a Spore. It's Rage Powder instead. But, you know what? That's fine. I'm at -1 special attack too, so popping my Terra is probably not the best idea. But Reflect is gone, Light Screen is gone. I'm burned, but at least we have that. Ogerpon could come in, hypothetically, for a Lucky. Yeah, Ogerpon could hypothetically do that, but I don't think that's a good idea. We got a Rage Quit. Okay. That could have been gross, but it is what it is. We had the Terra Ice. Regieleki was starting to do something. The only reason why I'm going to include this here is because Regieleki actually came to the video. So there's your Regieleki. I've been talking about it all this time, ever since it's been eligible for the ladder, and here we go. We finally tried it, and Regieleki prompted a Rage Quit. That sucked about Zacian being burned, but it is what it is. Good game to my opponent. Ooh, we got a Regice. You're probably an Electric Seed, too. Okay, so we got Rillaboom, we got Ogerpon Hearthflame, we got Whimsicott. So 3 grass types. Torn might be really nice. Dragonite might be really nice here, too. We got Iron Hands, and we got the Regice, as I mentioned. The Regice I am very, very curious about. I think that looks really cool. Now, I think I might bring the Regieleki for this one. And we'll see how this works out. Ogerpon could be nice too. Yeah. I think maybe Dragonite Riolu. I think Zacian. And then the problem is they also have Tailwind with Whimsicott, which could be bad. But you know what? It should be alright. Do I bring the Regieleki? There's a lot of things that threaten the Regieleki, not gonna lie. I think we bring the Torn. We do threaten the Regice. Now, if they terrestrialize that would be cool. I want to see this work. I want to see the Regice work. Like, I was hoping to bring Regieleki, but, you know, I'll consider it a win if Regice comes. So, there is that. Yeah. I'm very, very curious to see what it does. It's Whimsicott Miraidon. All right, you know what? That's fine. I want to hit that thing to an oblivion with this extreme speed Terra Normal weakness policy. Yeah, I want to do that. If I can do that and do some major damage, great. I'm probably losing Riolu this turn, whether it be to Miraidon or Whimsicott. I mean, Moonblast off Whimsicott will definitely be enough to knock out Riolu because it's a Riolu. But At least we do have the upper hand stuff. And on the off chance that they taunt Riolu, I have Feint. I can break a potential Focus Sash. Yeah, I have the Feint. That could be really nice. The Ice Spinner would have been nice if I had Tailwind. If I had Tailwind and just Ice Spinnered Dragonite, we would have gotten rid of the Electric Terrain, which means Miraidon would have been less of a threat. But unfortunately, we're going to have to deal with that. So they do have a Rillaboom on the team too, so they could potentially bring in the Grassy Terrain. And if they do, well, at least I can go for... at least I can destroy Grassy Terrain if Dragonite gets to survive this turn. I haven't run the Weakness Policy Extreme Speed Calc on Miraidon. I'm hoping this is enough. I'm really hoping this is enough to knock it out. A double up into Dragonite could be really bad. Nope, we're good. We got rid of the Miraidon. So now we're just free to Extreme Speed and Ice Spinner. To our heart's content. They have Tailwind, so you know what? I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to Feint into Whimsicott, and then I think I'm going to Extreme Speed just to break a Sash. Iron Hands comes in here. They can't Fake Out either one of these two Pokemon, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to Extreme Speed into the Whims. What do I have to deal with the Iron Hands? I have the Zacian. Alright, we have that. I'm going to Feint into the Whimsicott just to break a Sash. And then I'm going to Extreme Speed it. And both of these moves should be +2 priority, so... Oh, yeah, if this thing protects, Dragonite's going to be faster, which means this could have been really bad. Alright, so there's the Fake Out. That takes half of my HP. Fortunately, no, it must be a +3 priority. Okay, so we're just going to destroy the Whimsicott here. Good job, Dragonite. Alright, we have that. Show me your last Pokemon. Let it be slower than Dragonite. Let it be Rillaboom. Yeah, let it be Rillaboom. Just remove the Electric Terrain for me. That would be wonderful. Let's see. Let's see how this goes. I'm glad I got that Miraidon gone turn 1. It's Ogerpon. Alright. You're a little bit scary for Zacian. But you know what we're going to do? We're going to do the exact same thing. We're going to Feint, and we are going to Extreme Speed. Zacian can come in here and just Psychic Fangs the Iron Hands, which would be really nice. Go ahead and Spiky Shield. I dare you. I mean, you already did it, but anyways. There's the Feint. There's your HP. Just a little bit wounded. And here comes the Extreme Speed. Bada bing, bada boom. Goodbye, Ogerpon. You don't Spiky Shield. You should have followed me and Drain Punched. Well, there's the Drain Punch at least. Okay. And here's the best part. They left Riolu alone. This is why you don't leave Riolu alone. Like, this is a lose-lose situation for my opponent. You get rid of the Riolu, you get rid of the support. You get rid of the Dragonite, you lose one damaging thing. Like, Riolu is the biggest threat here. Yeah. Unfortunately, they also did not bring the Reg Ice, and this is why I'm proceeding to do this. Well, that and I just want to win. But anyways, they didn't bring the Reg Ice. They should have brought the Reg Ice. I'm at +1 attack. I'm going to be at +2, and I'm Psychic Fangsing this Iron Hands. So anyways, we're going to see if this is enough to knock out this Iron Hands, and it should be. It's super effective Psychic type damage into a Fighting type. So it's not. It's close. It is super close. So that Drain Punch did not give them back enough HP. And thankfully, I also had the coaching boost, so I got a defense boost out of that. So there goes your Tailwind. Not that it mattered. There's the, here comes, you know what, we're going to do it because it's funny. We're going to Behemoth Blade. We're going to Behemoth Blade coaching. Yeah. We're going to get a +2 into our defense. Or we're going to get up to +2, I should say. And, yeah, we'll be at +3 attack. This is... Yeah. They're not going to get to see the Behemoth Blade, but you know what? That's fine. That's me trolling at the end of the day. Also, I could not have asked for a better Extreme Speed shenanigans. Good game to my opponent. Hey, thank you guys so much for checking out this Zacian-Crowned and Riolu team. Overall, I'm fairly happy with how the team played out. Riolu put in very, very good work here, boosting up both the likes of Dragonite and Zacian with coaching and the upper hand weakness policy strat for Dragonite. And it's kind of fitting that our first game was actually against an Eternatus team, which was actually the last restricted that I showcased before I sat down to film this one. So if you want to, go check that one out later. But anyways, as far as that game went, we ended up going up against Iron Valiant, Eternatus as the lead, along with Rillaboom and Grimmsnarl in the back. And because I have a little bit of trauma from dealing with Destiny Bond Iron Valiant with booster energy, I made sure to get that thing off of the field as fast as possible. I got the upper hand off into Dragonite, activated the weakness policy, and then Extreme Speed just knocked out the Iron Valiant. But in return, the Eternatus knocked out Dragonite with a Meteor Beam, which also meant that it got a +1 to its special attack. And that is what you do with Meteor Beam. You get that special attack, and then you let this thing threaten your opponent. But nonetheless, we were able to get Dragonite in, or rather, we got Zacian in for Dragonite once Dragonite went down to the Meteor Beam, and my opponent brought in Grimmsnarl, and they started setting up screens with the Grimmsnarl. For turn 1, I decided to go for Protect for Zacian, or rather, Zacian's first turn, I went for Protect, and I went coaching with Riolu to get a +1 into my attack and my defense, which was relatively nice since they tried to flamethrower my Zacian, so I was able to survive. And then when they went for the second turn with their Grimmsnarl, they went for Light Screen and Sludge Wave off of the Eternatus. The Eternatus did a lot of damage to their Grimmsnarl, but thankfully for me, I had Psychic Fangs on my Zacian. I was able to take half of that thing's HP, even despite the fact that it went for Terra Water. We removed half of its HP with the Psychic Fangs. We destroyed the Reflect and the Light Screen, meaning my opponent's 2 turns with Grimmsnarl were completely useless. And then I was able to knock out the Eternatus with another Psychic Fangs, picking up the KO and leaving Rillaboom and a very weakened Grimmsnarl on the field. And at that point, my opponent canceled the match. And then in Game 2, I ended up playing against a Regulation F team, which had Kommo and Incineroar as their lead, going into my Dragonite and Riolu. And honestly, I was scared of the Kommo and I wanted to get rid of it, so I went for the upper hand and the weakness policy strat with Dragonite. My opponent went for Terra Steel and Iron Defense, so I didn't really do that much damage, and I tried to shift gears to go for the Incineroar, but they brought in Sinistcha, which completely neutralized my Extreme Speed and left me wide open. Had they have gone for Body Press with Kommo, Dragonite would have gone down, but thankfully they decided to go for Protect instead. So by protecting Kommo, that protected Dragonite in turn. So I went for another coaching with Riolu. We got Dragonite up to +4, and then Dragonite just one-shot the Sinistcha with a Dragon Claw. Kommo went for another Iron Defense. So my opponent wanted to make sure that Body Press was going to start just destroying everything that it hit. But by doing that, they gave Dragonite another turn to survive. So when Incineroar came back, they tried to fake out, but Inner Focus just said no. And so my +4 Extreme Speed just destroyed the Incineroar. So we got rid of the Incineroar at that point, and then Kommo finally realized Dragonite was a threat, hit me with a Body Press, knocked out Dragonite, and so Zacian was able to come in, receive a coaching boost, and then Zacian sealed Kommo's fate with a Sacred Sword. Now, my opponent's last Pokemon was Tyranitar as well, which meant that they definitely weren't going to appreciate a Sacred Sword or a Behemoth Blade regardless, and they went for Protect with Tyranitar too, so that just left Kommo ready to be knocked out. And honestly, if I was worried about the Protect off of Kommo, I could have gone for the Feint, but by going for the coaching, I got a +1 into my Zacian's defense stat, so that worked out in case Tyranitar maybe went for a high horsepower or something to try to do some damage. So thankfully, I was able to remove the Kommo with the Sacred Sword, and then my opponent just ended the match at that point. And then we got a Game 3 with a Terapagos team, which honestly, I kind of wish that battle continued a little bit longer than it did. We brought Regieleki finally to that match, and Regieleki, despite me not thinking it was going to land, I landed a Thunder into their Incineroar. Now, my opponent went for a Light Screen with their Grimmsnarl, so my Thunder didn't really do the most damage, and Sacred Sword, even at a neutral attack stat, wasn't enough to seal the deal at that point. But Thankfully, I was able to get that thing off of the field. Amoonguss came in, and I was able to start doing some damage to Amoonguss at that point. And we didn't get to see the fourth Pokemon because my opponent did disconnect, but I have a feeling it was Terapagos, and if it had been Terapagos, while it wouldn't have been pretty, I did have Riolu and Ogerpon in the back to go for the coaching, power up Ogerpon, and just try to brute force my way through there. And plus, I could have gone for the Psychic Fangs before Zacian fainted, and removed the screens, making it a little bit easier for Ogerpon in the long run. And plus, the other thing too was that Grimmstar was starting to get a little bit worn down, and my opponent really wanted the Regieleki off of the field, which I did not let them have that satisfaction. Now, Regieleki didn't really get to do much aside from throw a few Electrowebs out, but it did what it needed to do at the end of the day, and despite Zacian being burned, it was still putting up a fairly decent fight. And then finally, our last match was against a Miraidon team that had Miraidon and Whimsicott as their lead, and Iron Hands and Ogerpon in the back. And honestly, I could not have asked for a better Extreme Speed game. Extreme Speed just goes brrr coming off of Terra Normal Dragonite. We one-shot the Miraidon with the upper hand Extreme Speed combination. My opponent had Whimsicott, and on turn 2, I went for the feint into Whimsicott. The Covert Cloak came in clutch because the Iron Hands tried to knock out, or rather, tried to slow down Riolu's momentum with the Fake Out, and it almost knocked it out. It took about half my HP, but I was able to go for the feint. We got the feint to chip damage, or do a little bit of chip damage into the Whimsicott. I'm getting a little excited in case you haven't noticed. We got that chip damage off into the Whimsicott. We broke a potential Focus Sash, and then Dragonite just destroyed the Whimsicott on turn 2 with the Extreme Speed, and then Ogerpon Heartflame came in, and we just repeated what we did the previous turn. We clicked feint into the Ogerpon, we hit them, got a little bit of chip damage, and then Dragonite just sealed the deal on the Ogerpon, removing it. Iron Hands removed Dragonite at that point with Drain Punch, and then Zacian was able to come in, receive a coaching boost, and just take most of that Iron Hands' HP with a Psychic Fangs. And then, even with the defense boost, they weren't able to recover enough HP to make Iron Hands a threat, so at that point, my opponent then ended the battle. So it worked out really nice at the end of the day. Be sure to let me know what you think of the team down in the comments below. If you like watching Riolu shenanigans, be sure to let me know what you think of that. And honestly, I'm realistically looking at bringing Riolu and Dragonite to the Regulation H ladder once it begins coming in September. So look forward to that at some point. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching the video. I will see you next time.